live build series where I'm showing you, coaches, consultants, and advisors, how to get the most out of your GHL setup. I'm demonstrating inside my white label Uplevel CRM, which is built specifically for coaches, consultants, and advisors. So let me share my screen and I'll show you what we're doing today. So far, we have built an evergreen lead funnel. We did that in week 1, days 1 to 5. And now in week 2, what we're doing is we are building slightly more sophisticated lead nurturing and relationship development tools. Okay, so we've shared a personal video. We have updated and upgraded the emails that we created last week for our lead magnet funnel and just made a few changes. And what we're going to do today is we are going to add a 1-question survey email. And this is designed particularly off the back of yesterday, where we created that personal video highlighting some of the insights in a particular resource that you've got. For me, in my example, it was my 3 tasks checklist. But for you, it might have been a blog or another video or an article or a different lead magnet or model that you've got perhaps that demonstrates an insight and helps people to get a quick win. Off the back of that, we're now going to send a very short email that is designed to get a reply and segment our audience into those who are really ready to buy now and those who aren't. So let's jump on in. So I am working through the companion workbook that I've created to go through all of this. So if you want a copy of this, just comment week 2. Whether you're on LinkedIn or YouTube, just comment week 2 below. And we'll get that sent out to you, okay? So this is our companion workbook. So let's jump into Uplevel. So here we are inside our Uplevel account. So what I'm going to do is just navigate down the left-hand side to automations. And then once this is opened up, I'm going to go into my lead generation folder. And I'm going to go into my LBS, my live build series, so my lead magnet funnel that we worked on last week. And we're going to add this short email to the end. So you can see this is all the work that we did last week. And we are just going to add another email. So I'm going to create a copy. I'm going to copy all these actions. So I want this email and I want the wait step as well. And then I'm going to log in. And we're going to go email 8. And this is our survey email. I don't need to change the from name or the from an email or anything like that. So I'm going to go straight to my subject line, and I have already written this email. So let me show you. So here it is. Really, really short. Subject line is just going to be their name. And then want to see how others automate this. Okay, so let's copy that and jump back over here. Didn't need to copy it. And then we'll grab this. And you can see, as always, I've pre-written my email and my subject line. I've used the merge field that GHL recognizes, that Uplevel CRM recognizes, so that all I need to do is copy and paste it straight over. It makes it really quick and really easy. So delete that, and then I'm going to paste and match style. And then just make sure that this is in the font that I want it to be in. And the size that I want it to be. Great. So that's it. I'm really happy with that. That's exactly what I wanted. So I am going to send a test email. Always, always, always send a test. It's so important to know how it's going to look when your lead or your prospect or even your client is going to receive it. So please always, always, always test. Can't remember if I hit test there or not. And then we're going to hit save. Okay, so that's the first part of this done. What we've crafted our one-line email that is really short, really sharp, really to the point, and asks a very specific question. So make sure it relates back to the video and the resource that you shared yesterday. Okay. In your video. I'll just open this up so we can have a quick look at it. So remember yesterday we created an email that shared a valuable resource, highlighted a couple of key points, and in the video I suggested that you share your screen and just go through and go, all right, this bit here is all about how you can blah, 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 whatever the insight is that you're sharing, just to make sure that they understand it, to really really articulate the value of what it is that you've got. Okay, that's what this video is. So, and then that have a couple of bullet points and how it related to the outcome that they want. Okay, really important to keep relating everything back to them. Offered them a call, and that's it. Really nice, valuable, and really short email there. So we're following that up with a relevant question. So want to see how others automate this is a question that I would ask of my audience. What's a question, a short question that you would ask of your audience? Okay. So that is the first bit where we have created the email, and that's going to go out as part of our lead sequence. What we need to do now is, let me share here. What we need to do now is create an automation that's going to capture any replies that come in and let us know, so that we can start an email dialogue, send them an invitation to book a call, give them a call, whatever the action is that we want to take. So this is less complicated than it sounds. The system is already built for this kind of thing. It's amazing the work that has gone into the automation side, the really geeky bits of Uplevel CRM. So I'm going to name this number 3, and it's going to be email replies. And then I'm just going to put in a piece of information that lets me know where these replies are coming from. So it's going to be my LBS lead magnet funnel. Okay. So when I'm viewing my list of automations, actually, let me just share what that would look like. Sharing the wrong screen. Goodness gracious. You'd think by day 8, day 9, I'd be better at this, but we'll get there. Okay, here we go. Sharing this tab now. So we're going to, so we've just come down the left to automations. We were in our lead magnet automation. So now we're going to create a new one. And we're going to start from scratch. And really important to give it a name that you understand. Your library of automations, your library of funnels, your library of emails is only going to get bigger and bigger over time. So having a good naming convention, a good system that you use to create the names for things is really important. I'm going to share next week a spreadsheet and a system that I use. But for now, we're just going to go to number 3, and we're going to say email replies and LBS lead magnet. So then I know specifically what this automation is doing. So then what's our trigger? The trigger is the action or the activity that starts an automation, that lets the system know that this person needs to go through this process. So our trigger is going to be, customer replied. Okay, this is a really handy workflow element because you can use this for social media reply funnels. You know, comment, build, and I'll get you the thing. You can use it for your chatbot or your website widgets, but we are going to use it to monitor. So we're going to go customer replied. They replied in the workflow LBS lead magnet funnel. So any replies to emails in that are going to come here. And then we can filter this even more. So what's our reply channel? It is email. That's what we're particularly looking at. It might be as well. So in our email, let me just pull up the lead magnet funnel again. What we could do is say, want to see how others automate this. Just reply, automate. So we might want to save it like that. So then when we're here creating our trigger, our reply contains the phrase automate. Yeah, super simple, super easy. We don't even have to get involved. That filtering happens automatically. Okay, so and then I would change my trigger name to be customer replied automate, so that it's really easy to see here. Now, maybe you're going to be sending out loads of emails with the call to action that has just reply automate. If that's the case, then you can get rid of this first one where it says only in the LBS lead magnet workflow. Maybe you're just looking out for emails that contain the phrase automate. Can you see how kind of easy and clever that is, and how you can change the focus or change the scope? Actually, is probably a better word. Change the scope of what we're doing just by adding or subtracting some kind of filter to the workflow trigger there. So really easy to do. All you need to do, and that's why I map all of these things out on a bit of paper or using post-it notes on the wall, is so that I can go, right, what exactly is it I'm trying to achieve? What's the experience I want people to have? It's the best way to do it. Okay, so we've got customers replied. So what do we want to do now? Let me jump back to our document. So we've created the workflow, we've selected the trigger, we've added our filter. So maybe we want to tag them. And remember, a tag is just a label. So we're going to add a contact tag, and our tag is just going to be replied automate. So And then I will update my action name. So that it's all consistent. Okay, nice and easy. And that's all very well and good, but how do you then interact with people? Okay, so let's add some kind of notification to let you know that this has happened. So we're going to have new lead. I like to use when I set up an internal notification, I like to use the from name and the from email address to let me know, even without opening it, what it means. So I might have the from name is new reply and the email address is lead. So then I can instantly go, oh, that's something to be excited about. And we're going to set this up to come to our support inbox, because then it's not just me looking at it, it's the people who are going to be making the replies. And again, I'm all about specificity. You may or may not want this level of information in your subject line. I think it's important, but however you choose to manage it is going to be up to you. And we're just going to put some information here about our lead. Maybe I've got their phone number. Maybe I've got their business name already, depending on what information you've asked for on your form and depending how long they've been in your system. You have a new reply automate. Follow up with, and look, you might not want this to be, you could automate all of this, this following up aspect. But for now, let's keep this manual. So you're going to be notified that something cool's happened. If we wanted to, we could just send them an email and say, awesome, so excited, book a call here. And that email might have a video in it to make sure that they realize that we're paying attention. Or maybe you just want to pick up a call. That's what I like to do. I just like to pick up the phone and call. So internal notification, and then let's add a task. And this task is going to be follow up with, and let's put their full name. And actually, is it follow up? Hot lead. Okay, and then we can say something like Bob replied automate, book a demo or free trial call within the next 12 hours. Something like that. And we might assign that to, okay, so they haven't got any people in this test account, really must add some people, but we would assign that to maybe your marketing person. If you have one, maybe that's you. Maybe it's your VA that would do this kind of thing. So you could assign this task to them to make sure that it gets done. They'll get notified they've got a new task, and then they've got to tick it off when they've done it. So there's accountability and transparency all the way through the process, and you can give them a due date. So it might be straight away. We've said within 12 hours, so it probably is going to be now. If we leave it one day, that's 24, so that goes beyond the 12-hour threshold. So that's how we would set up our task. I'm not going to be able to save that, which is a shame, but you can certainly add that to this workflow. And then once we've done that, we're just going to publish so that this is active. And then the last thing I would do is I would come down here to my list of contacts, my people, And I would set up some kind of smart list. So a smart list is just where you've filtered your audience, filtered your list, and then saved that filter. So what do I mean by that? So just here where we have, this is our list of people. We go to more filters. And what we're going to do is we're going to search for our tag, which is replied automate. And we're going to apply that tag. And we're going to save this down the bottom here as a smart list. And we're going to call it replied automate. Or we'll call it hot leads. Whatever name you want to give is going to be the right thing to do there. Let's call it replied. That was weird. Okay. Restream had a complete freak out, but I think we're okay. So here we are. We've got our smart list that we've saved. There is no one tagged replied automate because no one's replied yet. So this smart list is empty. So let's go back to all. So what have we done so far today? Let's have a recap. So if we go to our automations, and we go into lead generation. In our lead magnet funnel, we added a really short email. That's essentially conducting a survey. Want to see how others automate this? Just reply, automate. Simple enough. Then we created a brand new workflow. Emails replied, where our trigger is somebody replies via email and it contains the phrase automate. Now, as I mentioned, you can increase or decrease the scope on this. So maybe we only want people in this specific funnel, or maybe we're going to use this call to action in different emails outside of this particular workflow. So that's why we've left it broad. Then we're going to add our tag, replied automate. Then we've got an internal notification that says, hey, somebody's replied automate, follow up with them, and here's all the details. Now, as I mentioned, you don't have to do a notification. You could send them an email. You could send them a voicemail that says, hi, so glad you wanted to, so glad you're interested in automating this. Really excited. Our team's going to call you tomorrow. Whatever it is you want to say. There's a lot of ways that you can respond once somebody's raised their hand to say that they're interested in what you're doing. It might be a voicemail. It might be an email. It might be a task for you or your VA or your EA or your salesperson or whomever to follow up with them. Whatever the best course of action is for you and your business, you can automate that response and automate that flow within your Uplevel account. So it's such a great tool, and that's why I love to build these things out in a document, so I can think about what it is I want to happen. What's the best flow? What's the best case scenario? How would I want that to work? How do I want to track it? And then we can build it. And we have used a smart list so that we can segment them. And we have done this optional step here of assigning a notification. Okay, so What's a nice short email that you could use that's going to get the attention of your audience, that you can plug into your CRM? Have a think about that. If you need any help, if you want me to build this for you, if you want our team to get involved, just comment build. You know I'm going to get in touch because you've seen me set up the automation, and yeah, we'd love to help you out. All right, I'll see you tomorrow where we're going to be setting up week